Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hobby Table. Today is the 26th of September and I've got a few things to show you, projects that I'm currently working on. But to begin with, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that. Click the bell as well to get notifications of when new videos are released. And let us begin. We are starting off with some of the items I showed you in the last episode of Hobby Table. Items that were work in progress back then that are now completed. We have our spiders, which we were painting up for a 5 Leagues from the Borderlands game. We have the Rackham Wolfen for the same game, but this is my new warband member. And we had a bunch of cocoons, spider victims. Again, so all these were for a game for sessions of 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. And I had a few problems with these. Again, I mentioned this in the last episode. The painting wasn't coming out exactly as planned with the spiders. And it took a few sort of trial and error painting ideas and painting methods and stuff to kind of get things right. I mean, starting off with the little guys. There we go, focus. I finally got something that I thought was good enough for the camera. I highlighted the body a little bit more on the front and the middle. And on the back, I actually did like a spotted effect along sort of like the ridges. I think it's the spider abdomen, but yeah, I kind of just added a little bit more highlight, a sort of brown and orange, and like I say, at the back I did like a spotted ridge design, which I think kind of works and it kind of draws it out, and I'm quite happy with these. They were in the video. I'll put a link at the top here to the video, the 5 Leagues from the Borderlands video, where these little spiders take center stage. So I did a bunch of those. I did 4, 8, 9, 10. I did 11 of those. And then we also had the spider boss. Now, the actual spider I had painted a while back, but I had issues with the base. I mean, on camera, it still looks really orange, but in real life, it's not, it's not that bad anymore. It was really orange to begin with. The stones are a very dark grey, very splotchy. So I did a bit of work on this. And like I say, actually in the flesh or in the plastic resin, whatever, it actually looks a lot better now. I used, I think it was Vallejo Desert Yellow. I think from the Italian paint set, the Italian World War II paint set. There's a color called Desert Yellow, and it really did tone it down. Again, on the camera, as I'm looking through the lens, it still looks really orange, but take my word for it. In real life, it's been toned down a lot. For the stones, for the rocks, I basically went over it with a few different shades of gray to kind of bring it down a little bit, get rid of some of the splotchiness, and I'm really happy with this now. I like it. I really do like it. I do have another one of these spiders painted up, but not base. So I'll have to do another base at some point for the other one of these spiders. Okay, what else? Well, again, for 5 Leagues, we needed some terrain for the scenario because I was going down into some treasure site which had a load of spiders. So I had a load of these cocoons. Okay, the light's a little bit bright. Let's take it back a bit. There you go. So these cocoons were basically undercoated white, and then I painted over them with, I think it was the speed paint, the Army Painter speed paint Holy White, which gives like a grey shadow effect. Comes out really nice. So I did a bunch of these for terrain effects. So you can see them here. I mounted them on, I mounted these on some ground tiles from the Lair of the Dragon God, the World Watch Games set that I'm using for my dungeons in 5 Leagues. So I just took some of the ground tiles, mounted them on this like art board or mat board, and yeah, they're perfectly good for dungeon additions. And the last painted model that I'd like to show you is the Wolfen that I painted up as my feral follower, my new warband member. I'll put the card, the Rackham card up here so you can actually see what the official paint job is. I deviated from the official sort of paint scheme because on the card, this guy has a grey skin color and then his robes are brown. I kind of reversed that. I did a brown skin and sort of black grey robes because when I started collecting the Rackham figures, I decided that my Devourers would have the grey skin and my Wolfen would have the brown skin. So that's kind of how I had to continue. But yeah, it came out quite nice. Shading's a little bit harsh, so close-up doesn't look anywhere near as good as sort of tabletop distance. But yeah, he's quite nice. Quite a nice figure. I do like the Rackham figures. But yeah, so this was painted up for my warband. Now, what else do we have here? Well, nothing else painted, unfortunately. I have some stuff on the go. I have another Rackham figure on the go, and this is the card, Uran's Son, and this is from the Dwarf faction, or the Turnabor faction in Confrontation. It's quite a big model. Let's grab him now. I have assembled, based, undercoated, grey undercoat, and I've given a black wash to kind of bring out all the details to help me when I'm painting. He is a fairly chunky figure. I mean, if I put him next to the Wolfen, you can kind of see how big he is. He's a big lad. So yeah, this is one of my current painting projects. Again, I really like the figure. I do like the Dwarf faction in Rackham with its kind of steampunk-esque or steam-esque elements, like the steam chamber on the back, the steam fist he's got in his hand there. But yeah, this is one of the current figures that I'm painting up. Not going to tell you what for. It's going to be a surprise, but I'm pretty sure you can guess what it's for. But yeah, this is some of the ones I'm going to start off by showing you in this episode of Hobby Table. Now, I have plenty more to show you, so give me a few seconds and we'll go to the figures that I have just printed. Right, I have been setting up and calibrating and testing my new 3D resin printer, the Halot One Plus, I think it is. It's a lot bigger than my first printer, the Halot One Basic. I'll put up a picture here, maybe here, showing you the different size of the build plates. I can make a lot more figures on the new printer. It's also supposed to be a much higher resolution. It's supposed to be, I think the Halot One Plus is 4K resolution. I think the Halot One is a 2K resolution. But I've got to be very honest with you, I can't really see much difference in terms of the prints. But the build size is pretty big, as you can see, as you saw just then in the picture. So I can print a lot more. So I've been spending a bit of time with that, setting it up, calibrating, kind of trying to find the right print settings. And I've been printing a few bits and pieces, as you can see here. Let's have a look and see. Now, we've got a couple of figures here on the left. These are from the Archvillain games. Speak of the Devil Act 2 set. I've printed them. I've put their resin bases onto plastic bases because I'm not so confident in just having resin bases in my cabinet. I don't know whether the resin's going to get all sticky and stick to the glass shelves. So what I've done is I've printed out let's move it away a bit, the resin bases. This one has a load of candles on it and a cat here. So yeah, this is, I think it's a 25mm base, and this is for Gillian Red Soul, who apparently is a spirit binder. And she is from the Archvillain Society. Normally with every release that Archvillain does, every sort of set that they release, they include, this is a bit hard to pick out the details on this, I'm sorry. They release a few sort of character models as well as the sort of monsters or whatever is in the main set. Sorry, this isn't, can't really see the details, can you? Sorry about that. But yeah, she's a very nice figure. A little bit smaller than I was expecting, to be honest. But the detail's very, very nice. And she will go on this base. Oh, I knew it. I always drop the buggers. Okay, hang on. Because I've got to be careful not to handle them too roughly, because with these resin figures, things tend to break and snap off. So I've got to, but yeah, this is how she's going to look, with the candles on the base and all that sort of jazz. Really nice little figure, this one. So yeah, I haven't attached to the base yet because I'm thinking that maybe I want to paint the base first. What else do we have? Also from the same set, but one of the kind of monsters is this. This is a Varicite Devil. Varicite Devil. I love this. This reminds me of that old TV show where you had all the dinosaurs. You had the Papa dinosaur. You had the baby dinosaur that kind of shouted all the time. I can't remember. I'll do a bit of research and find out the name, and I'll put the name of the TV series here. But when I saw these guys, I think there's 4 different designs in the set of this type of devil. The Varicite Devils. This one, I just loved it. The staff, reading the book, the face, the robes. Really, really nice. And he's got, like I say, small bat wings on the back. Really, such a really nice figure. But it just, the first thing I thought of was that bloody TV series with the dinosaurs. Again, this one has a special base, which it comes with. I think this is a 40mm base. Yeah. And again, I've put it onto a plastic base just to give it a little bit more stability and strength. So this guy will go onto the base like so, like that. Yeah, 1 foot on the pillar, the other foot on the thing. Really, really nice figure. I love this figure. I might actually print out the other 3 as well, because this one's really impressed me. I don't know. I love demons and devils and stuff, but I'm a little bit careful in terms of printing them and having too many of that kind of figure in my collection, because the wings. The wings, I don't know, I know they're going to break off. But yeah, that guy had small wings, she had small wings, so, you know, these were quite a nice little project to print out. But like I say, I think for these 2, I'm actually thinking of painting the bases first and then attaching these. That's why they haven't been fixed yet. On the other hand, there are a bunch of figures where I have attached to the base already. And these are all from Bestiarum. So we have here Archvillain, and here we have Bestiarum. Now, currently, these are the only 2 companies that I follow on Patreon. I don't have a big budget, so I'm kind of limited. There's a lot of companies, 3D miniature companies that I would love to back on Patreon, but I just don't have the funds, you know. I mean, I'd love to do one-page rules. Who's the other one? Cast and Play looks pretty nice. What was the other one? There's about 5 or 6 I really want to kind of follow on Patreon, but you know, I just don't have the funds. So at the moment, I'm limiting myself to Archvillain and to Bestiarum. So these are all Bestiarum figures here on the white card. This is from the Man-Eaters set, or the Man-Eaters Part 2 set. And this is a man gutter. Again, gruesomely lovely. If you have any kind of love for the Soulsborne games, yeah, you'll love the Bestiarum figures, especially the Man-Eaters figures. They really do fit into that aesthetic of the Dark Souls and the Bloodborne sort of games. Really, really nice. Now this guy is actually pretty big. If I put him next to Gillian, you can kind of see the scale difference. Okay, let's try and get it in focus. There you go. So that's the scale difference. Give me 1 second. I'll find out maybe a little bit better figure to compare him to. Hang on 1 second. All right, so maybe this is a better size representation. So on the right, we have one of the wicked warriors from the Man-Eaters, which is a normal sized figure. And on the left, we have the Man-Gutter. As you can see, he's a big one. He's a big boy. But yeah, it's from these two are from the same set, the Wicked Warrior, the sort of cannibalistic warrior, and then we've got the Man-Gutter here. Really, really nice figure. Man-Gutters, I think, if I remember correctly, I think there are 3 different designs in the set, 3 different models in the set for the Man-Gutters. I preferred this one. There's another one which is holding either a bloody great door or some kind of big rock above his head, if I remember correctly. But this is the one that I chose as my first print for the Man-Gutters. Like I say, there's 3 in the set. He's mounted on, this is a 32mm wooden disc or wooden base, which is what I have at the moment. So yeah, really, really nice figure. So he's now fitted to the base, now waiting for his undercoat. Nice figure. I really like that one. What else have we got? Well, I also printed up a bunch of figures for something that I'm planning in the near future once I can get them painted up. And these are actually from the Corrupted Ambrosia set, one of Bestiarum's older sets. At the bottom here we have, what are these called? Infected Scythian warriors. Behind them there are normal Scythian warriors or undead Scythian warriors. I'm probably saying that wrong. Scythian. And here, the big thing at the back, the base, the front and the back, this is actually a corrupted idol. This is going to be one figure that I need to assemble. Let's look at the basic figures first. Let's look at the undead or the Scythian warriors from the Corrupted Ambrosia set. Let's take a look at these. Now, these are basic sort of 25mm or 28, 32, whatever scale, basic miniatures. There are, again, cat hairs everywhere. There are 3 basic designs for this model in the set. I printed off 2 of each. So these would be good as generic sort of skeletons, maybe even zombies, depending what game system you want to play. There's only 3 designs though, so they're more suitable maybe for skirmish games. So there's that. That's one of the designs. You got this. This is a, come on, focus. This is the second of the designs. Looks like his guts are hanging out. Print them as one piece. The base comes separate. Again, I've mounted these to plastic bases because again, I'm not sure whether this resin is going to go all sticky. And the third design is a little bit more. Come on, focus. Focus you get. Come on. There you go. A little bit more maybe of an officer design. This guy has a specific base because his left foot's a little bit raised. But yeah, another really nice design. I don't know, the light, I think the light's causing a problem. I don't have the flash, I don't have the light on the camera. It's just the lights from above. Let's see if we can shade it. Is that better? That's a little bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah. I printed 2 of each, so I've got 6 of those models. For the project I had planned, I've got 6 of them. I've also done the same thing with these, the infected Scythian warriors, the infected ones. Again, there's 3 different designs. I've done 2 of each, so a total of 6. Let's look at the first one of these. Come on, focus. There you go. So they're corrupted by some. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to spoil the surprise. I'm not going to tell you exactly what these things are infected with, but you can see that it's basically one of those undead warriors or Scythian warriors, but it's being corrupted, animated, taken over by something. So yeah, I've done 2 of that design. Here's the second one. Come on, focus. Lovely and gory. Lovely and gory. So 2 of them. And the third design, again, I printed out 2 of these, so I have 6 in total. So 3, again, there's hairs everywhere. I have to clean these properly before I spray them. So yeah, there's 3 different designs. I've done 2 of each, so I've got 6. So there you go. So 6 infected, 6 undead. And then, we got the big corrupted idol at the back. Now there is a sort of standard idol model as well, which I haven't printed out yet. But when that statue becomes corrupted, I'm kind of giving the story away here. It turns into this corrupted idol. Now, this is the base. Oops, sorry. The base is about approximately, I think, 100 mil wide. Let's get me rule. It's not an exact circle. It doesn't print as an exact circle. It's just under 100 mil. There's about 100 mil diameter there, but it's about 100 mil diameter. I think I'll probably put some matte board. I don't have a 100 mil plastic base or wooden base, so I'll probably put some of this matte board. Yeah, some of this matte board underneath. Oops. I'll probably put some of this matte board underneath as a sort of protective base. Let's pick this guy up before I forget. There you go, mate. But yeah, this is the base for the corrupted idol. Really nice. I'm always a bit hesitant to print out these big bases because they take up a lot of resin, and because of the size that they take more time to print because you're not supposed to print these flat because it causes a lot of suction on the FEP and it may not print properly. So they always recommend printing things like this at an angle. But because this is so big, it makes the height higher, so it takes longer to print. This took over 9 hours to print, just this. But it is nice. For the Ungaroth, I don't think I printed the 90mm base for the big giant guy. I don't know, maybe I'll go back and print the base for that big tentacly geezer. Right, so that's the base. We have the back, the rear of the model, which is there. Okay, so it's as you can see here, it's a hollow print to save resin. I always have problems with hollow prints. I can never cure all the resin that's actually inside there. So these things I normally have to keep going back with my UV torch to keep kind of curing the resin inside. So I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of hollowed prints. I know it saves resin. Again, the hair's everywhere. What the hell? But this one didn't have an option. It was hollowed only. But like I say, there's probably still some resin in there that hasn't been cured just yet. But yeah, it fixes this. Will fix to this one, and this is the fixing surface here. So this will join at this point, and you see it's got like a really nice sort of tail, gruesome and gribbly, and come on, focus. It's got skulls in there, skeletons and tentacles and all sorts of yuckiness and gorgeousness. That's the rear section. Und the front section is this. Oh, it's a bit big, I need to hold it further back. But yeah, so you can see the kind of idol sort of shape, a little bit Indian-esque. And then you've got some kind of skeleton and tentacles and gribbliness and loveliness and all that sort of stuff. So what you'll get is, if I move all this stuff backwards, we get the base. What you'll get is, at the base, you'll have, move this back a little bit more so we can see. Right, so there's the base. You'll have the back, which will kind of slot in here. And then you'll have the front, which will adjoin in there, roughly. Like that. Now, this isn't glued, so I'm going to be very careful when I pick this up. But yeah, this is basically how it goes. Now, on the base, there are indentations here and here for the claws, for the front feet, or whatever you want to call them. And that is the completed model. It looks lovely. I love this model. It's really, really nice. So yeah, this is It's like erupting from the earth. I'm imagining that the idol is on the sort of ground, and then this corrupted idol kind of comes from the earth, collects it up, and then assimilates with it. It's a really, really nice figure. And again, in terms of scale, let's just take one of the basic figures. Yeah, you can kind of see the scale this thing is. Really, really nice. So yeah, so this is a really nice model. Really, really, I mean, if you play any of the other sort of fantasy games, this would be very suitable in some kind of undead army. Really, really nice. Or if you're playing sci-fi, this would be really good as some kind of alien creature. Yeah, some kind of Cthulhu in space job. Really, really nice figure. But yeah, I haven't cleaned this up yet. There's like some support points I need to clean up. A little bit of places where the supports are kind of left their mark that I need to clean up. I need to then glue it together. Like I say, they're both hollow. You can see the shine where I've had to use the UV torch to kind of cure excess resin that's been inside. I think I've got it all. I've cured it a bunch of times and shone the torch inside, but I don't know. So yeah, these parts will go together. The fit is actually really, really good. There will be some gaps, as you can see. There will be some little gaps, not excessive, but there will have to be a little bit of filling, some little bit of green stuff on there. And then when I put it into the base, again, there'll be a small amount of filling around the edge, but nothing major. So yeah, this is what I've been printing. And again, these guys are for something I have in mind once I get them all done. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be printing the actual idol, the basic idol yet. I've got to think about that. But I do have something coming up with these in mind. So this is what I've been printing since the last episode of Hobby Table. What else? Okay, so let's go and have a look at some other non-miniature things that I've got as projects at the moment. All right, aside from miniatures, what else do I have hobby-wise going on at the moment? Well, I have 4 print and play games in work in progress at the moment. You can see at the back here I've got the 4 folders with all the documents for the 4 print and play games I'm going to be doing shortly. And here in front of us we have quite a lot of pages for my next tabletop papercraft video. I am going to be doing something a little bit different in the next episode of Tabletop Papercraft. In the previous episodes, I've shown you completed models, ground tiles or ground maps, dungeons. I've shown you things that are completed. But in the next episode of Tabletop Papercraft, I'm actually planning to do a show and tell sort of build video. So I'm going to actually be building my next set, my next Papercraft terrain set. So I'll be doing that kind of step by step, showing you how I actually make the stuff, showing you the components. And like I say, this is going to be, I mean, what I've printed out so far are basically just the floor tiles, plus some other bits and pieces for a 3 foot by 2 foot area. Yeah. There's a lot here, just for a 3 foot by 2 foot area. And this doesn't include any kind of buildings or anything like that. This is really just the basic stuff. And like you say, it's a lot of printing. It's a lot of pages, a lot of ink. But I've been wanting to do this set for a while. I've been wanting to do this kind of terrain set for a while. So this is something that I'll be doing in the next episode of Tabletop Papercraft with you guys, so you can see every step of work and you can see how I actually make these. And it's kind of for an upcoming game as well that I'm planning on doing. But yeah, at the moment, that's what I have sort of in progress. These are the projects that I'm currently working on. 5 Leagues is going to keep going. I've got to do some more Note Quest. I've got a few other bits and pieces that I'm planning to do. The problem is that once I get to a stage in my schedule where I'm ready to do the next thing, somebody releases a new game. I mean, with 5 leagues, I've got a plan for what's going to follow 5 leagues, but then all of a sudden, the guys from Snarling Badger release bloody Space Station Zero, which kind of interferes with my schedule a lot. So now the things I want to do are now, again, being pushed back. There's one particular game that I want to do a series on that I've had planned right from the start, right from when I first started doing things like Rain in Hell, and I just haven't had the chance to do it because, like I say, other things have come along and they're probably going to garner me more views and more viewers because they're the new thing. But yeah, there is one or 2 games in particular that I really want to do series on. Well, 3 actually 4. Oh God, there's too many games. Okay, I've got a lot of projects on the go. I'm going to try and upload more videos on a more regular basis. Recently, that painting held me back for a while. But yeah, there'll be more coming up soon. We've got 5 leagues from the Borderlands campaign turn 7. We've got Note Quest, I think part 9 I've got to do. We've got our Papercraft. I've got plans for Papercraft. I've got plans for sort of board games, card games, print and play games. I've got a lot planned. It's just I don't have enough time to do it all. And the preparation takes so much time for this type of game. It would be so much easier if I was a video game YouTuber. Because then I would just plug in, play, record, and just, there'd be minimal editing. But for games like this, for like maybe not. I mean, board games, you've also basically just got to read the rules and play. But when you're doing things like tabletop games, you've got terrain to build, you've got painting, modeling, printing. I think I've picked the genre of games that have the most prep and setup time, unfortunately, which kind of means less videos. But I will try my best. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy these semi-regular views into my hobby table, the things I'm currently working on. But yeah, I have 4 print and play here, definitely in progress. I have my Halloween game kind of planned out, but I've still got a lot of work to do for that. And like I say, I will keep on working. So thanks guys for watching. I hope this has been of interest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please spread the word about the channel. There's plenty on here for people to watch, plenty of different games for different interests. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Cheers.